as both teams have so much on the line with one kick. Here we go. This time for real. And it is delivered. Good.
And the Raiders.
It was for real that time. You were right. What a game, Dallas. Great job with Hooker coming back with too many penalties. Both teams. Dak Prescott wants that one throw back in overtime. They had the ball, but
Welcome to the Reed Report, where I did not see that coming, that result, that last sequence on the kick, and all of that stuff. That last kicking sequence, all four of those stoppages because of penalties, it reminded me of a game I went to back in the 2014 season. Took place in 2015. It was Carolina and Seattle. I remember being at that game, and the same thing happened, except that it was just a kick to send the game into overtime. Not to overtime, to the second half. And it was just, they just kept stopping it because Seattle was really trying to block it. You had, I think it was Earl Thomas, who kept jumping outside. He jumped over his player to try to block it, and they did it like 3 times before Graham Gano finally kicked it in. So, welcome to the Reed Report. Thank you guys for taking this time to hear me out. Man, what a game. That was a really good game. Dallas Cowboys, Oakland Raiders. They always be Oakland to me. That was a good game to, we got another game. I was going to say the end of the evening, but we still have the Buffalo-New Orleans game. Appreciate you guys for being here with me today. Of course, today is a big day. We have our raffle, brought to you by Raffle Zone and Flow Create, for a time for you to win some gear from Flow. If you guys entered, I really do appreciate you guys for entering, but we will be we will be announcing the winner of the raffle today. But before we do that, I just want to talk about this game between the Cowboys and the Raiders. A big game, still playoff implications for the Raiders. Of course, they weren't out of it, but it was looking bad for them coming in. 3 straight losses. Losing to the Giants, horrible win. Losing at home to the Chiefs, another bad loss, horrible losses. Losing to the Giants, Chiefs, and then last Sunday they lost to the Bengals. And they looked like they were out of it, but they were able to come in today, get a win, and keep Dallas looking for answers, because I know this is something a lot of Cowboy fans, woof at or say whatever, yeah, right. But the fact of the matter is this. Washington ain't out of it yet. Y'all just gave Washington some whole new life. Dallas has now dropped, 3 out of their last 4? Let's see, they lost to, who'd they lose to? They just lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Chiefs. They beat the Falcons, and they lost to the Broncos. So they've lost 3 out of their last 4, and Washington has just won 2 very big, impressive games against Tampa and against Carolina, my Panthers. So, and then when you think about this, Dallas still have the Washington football team twice in 3 weeks. So you can scoff at it all you want, but they look like they found their groove, their rhythm. Tyler Heineke looking like a poised quarterback who belongs in the position that he's in. He's playing with confidence, swagger, and all that. So we about to see Dallas. Like I said, right now, that was not that the Raiders are a horrible team, but that was still a bad loss by Dallas, despite the people they were missing on defense and offense. They were missing, what was his name? Their receiver, CeeDee Lamb. They were missing CeeDee Lamb, but despite that, they still had a chance to win this game. Both quarterbacks played some good football. So Brown had 4 pass interference calls called on him. One of them set up a Jacobs touchdown. Another one was costly there in overtime. And man, Dallas is going to be, left, thinking about one they could have had depending on how the season ends for him. Deshaun Jackson was a guy who showed up today and played some good football. He got things started with, I think it was a 58-yard touchdown. And when he scored that touchdown, it kind of had got me thinking, he did once upon a time play in the division with the Cowboys. He played for the Eagles and he played for the Washington football team. Played for the Eagles from 2008 to 2013. Then he played for Washington from 2014 to 2016. And then he came back to the Eagles for 2 years. And I was like, what was his stats against the Cowboys? Does he do this on a normal basis. And then I went and found his stats. So here are Deshaun Jackson's stats against the Dallas Cowboys. As you can see, he played 11 games as an Eagle. Played 11 games as an Eagle against the Cowboys. Caught 33 passes for 615 yards and 3 touchdowns, including one of those were the playoffs back in 2009. And then in Washington, he played in 5 games, caught 21 passes for 460 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tampa, he played 1 game against them, and tonight against the Raiders, he had a really good game. He was really big and instrumental in what the Raiders were able to accomplish in that game. So I thought that was interesting, and I hope you guys appreciate this graphic by the Reed Report. I'm not a graphic designer, but I thought I'd throw this together for some visual for you guys. But yeah, coming to the game, I thought Dallas would get off the snide because, like I said, yeah, they beat down the Falcons, but losing to the Broncos, especially the way that they did, and then losing that one to the Chiefs, which was expected. They were a team that were really struggling over the past few weeks. And like I said, again, Washington is right back in the thick of things in this division. If Cowboy fans want to hear it or not, care to hear it or not, or believe it or not, Washington is right back in this thing. But Washington does play Oakland next week. They play the Raiders. So we're going to also see if the Raiders are for real, if they're going to get back into the thick of it, because they too have a mountain to climb, because their schedule is not an easy schedule. No games are it's cliche, as cliche it is to say no games are easy. But the Raiders have Washington, Kansas City, Cleveland, they got Denver, Indy, and then they got the Chargers again. So we're going to see what the Raiders are made of. We're going to see what they're about. They're really going to make a push, because they really did need that win. Losing to the Giants was just terrible, and also the loss to the Bears. If they lose to the Chiefs and Chargers, that's cool, because as long as you get them the next time around. But losing to the Bears and Giants, you can never get those back. You can get the Chiefs and Chargers back, but you can't get those other 2 non-conference games back. But Dallas led by 17-13 at the half, and the Raiders never relinquished the lead in this game. Never relinquished the lead. Like I said, Deshaun Jackson had a coming out party. Henry Renfrow, right as I dropped the guy on fantasy football, he shows up and do his thing. But I did add, what's his name from the Bears earlier, because remember the Bears and Lions played in a game earlier. Speaking of fantasy football is what I'm thinking about right now. But the Bears and Lions played, and Darrell Mooney did get me 15 points in Renfrow. Let's see what Renfrow got. Let's see. Henry Renfrow got 17.60. So he shows up right as I release him, as I drop him on fantasy. And I think I have DJ Moore bench. Now watch him show up as well against Miami. But we're going to see what that's about. But this one was a really good game. This was it's not an all-time classic, but it was a fun game to watch. The Lions and Bears game, it wasn't a bad game either. I think the only thing that took steam from that game was the fact that both teams are not really good. You're talking about a combined 3 wins, 16 losses, and a tie, combined. So. And after doing some history, I was just looking through the rivalry between both these teams, and I found that, this was the 13th time that both teams have played each other, and the Raiders and the Cowboys, both teams were tied at 6 apiece coming into this game. First meeting was back in 1974, and now the Raiders lead the all-time series 7-6. So I thought that was interesting. The last time the Raiders beat the Cowboys was October 2nd, 2005. Romo wasn't the starter. It was Drew Bledsoe. Kerry Collins was the quarterback for the Raiders, and he and Moss connected for 123 yards. Yes, I'm talking about Randy Moss. Randy Moss was a Raider, for all you kids out there that don't know who Randy Moss is, or just don't know that he was a Raider. Randy Moss was a Raider, and Oakland won that game 19-13, and that was just the first of 4 wins the Raiders were going to have that season. So I thought that was a nice little nugget for some history right there. The Raiders had lost 3 straight to the Cowboys coming into this game. But I don't want to waste any more time. I just wanted to give some quick thoughts on that game, but what I want to talk about now is our raffle. I want to go into the raffle. So without further ado, we're about to raffle off the Flow Prize to see who the winner is. And again, the way to claim your prize is to follow Flo on Instagram. Even if you don't win, give them a follow on Instagram at Flo Create. So we're about to right now raffle off the prize, see who won, and I'm going to email you. I mean, you're going to watch the video, but I'm going to still shoot you an email. But hit up Flo, and then he going to show you some cool prizes, some cool gear that you can choose from. So be sure to do that to claim your prize. So without further ado, let's do the raffle. And what I decided to do, and this raffle is brought to you by Raffle Zone. Raffle Zone is partnering up with the Reed Report and Flo to do this raffle. So they were able to help us with this. So, and without further ado, let's see who's going to be our winner of this raffle. And the winner of the raffle is Jillian Lopez. Jillian Lopez, you are the winner of the raffle. Thank you so much for participating. Congratulations on winning. Again, I will email you to congratulate you and to just give you further details and instructions. Be sure to hit up Flo Create to claim your prize. Congratulations, Jillian, for winning the raffle. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling all over my words today. But congratulations on winning the raffle. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to hear me out. Thank you for tuning in. We got more bigger and better stuff coming. So continue to stay plugged in. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give Raffle Zone a follow. Give Flo Create a follow. Up next, we could have some sweets. We could have some more merchandise. But you just have to stay tuned to figure out, to see what it is, and continue to follow and stay plugged in to know what it is that you may have a chance to win. Until then, thank you for hearing me out. I'm about to go catch the Ole Miss Mississippi State game. Of course, I'm repping the Rebels. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good evening. Have a good tomorrow and everything going forward. Sponsored by God's Foundation. This is what it comes down to. This beautiful wooden championship was created by God's Foundation, where the winner of the Reed Report will be crowned the inaugural champion of the Fantasy Football League. The winner will also receive a $50 gift card. The league leader in points will receive a $25 gift card. Unless the Reed Report wins, then I get it all.